Hey guys, Justice Curry with you. This is going to be a terrible first video. I apologize, but I'm not really sorry because I thought about doing a kind of a law enforcement slash opinion social media for a long time. And I thought, well, what would make it grow is all these fun effects and stories and craziness and just always upbeat and shocking and provocative. But then I thought, that's not going to be real. Like, I want to share real life issues going on within me, with our culture, within my family, all sorts of problems. Because, you know what? We all want to put on these masks of being normal and go, I got everything under control. I know what I'm talking about. It's judging other parts of society or other groups or people. And as I've matured up, in my 40s now, that I realize there's no such thing as normal. The only normal people that you're ever going to meet in life are the people you haven't met yet. Meaning, once you get to know someone, you're going to realize we're all screwed up. Everyone's messed up in this whole world. And people put on different, like I said, masks to kind of say everything's going well. But ultimately, we're all going through life with our own struggles, our own issues. And I find that there's strength and weakness. I shared a long time ago, I have another social media that focuses on a big hobby of mine, which is toy collecting. I know, shocker. And I always focused on toys and action figures and my journey into collecting. I'll go on a whole tangent about that some other video. But I did a video called From Alcoholic to Toyaholic and shared some things that I had going on with me being sober. And many of my coworkers, friends, I never talked about my alcohol problem. I just stopped drinking. No one questioned it. And then when I kind of went into the depths of the problems and struggles I had, it resonated with people. And I went, wow. Because there's secret shame that we kind of carry and push deep within us that maybe we don't like talking about. Because, no one wants to be judged. Everyone wants to kind of fit in. But when I realized the masses of people being involved in similar struggles, whether personally or with their loved ones, in seeking advice, I thought that was real helpful. So I kind of want to be as real as I can be, sharing again my opinions, my thoughts. I've been in law enforcement for 20 years, recently retired, and that kind of brings up a whole nother can of worms to retirement life. You think you're going to cross this finish line, it's all going to be roses and rainbows, and you realize, oh man, this is hard. This is hard, especially when I'm a workaholic, and that's all I know is I've been working since I was 14 years old, and then stop, and you go, uh-oh, now what am I? What is my identity? And these are all things that I want to kind of dive into. I have 2 beautiful children. I have a wonderful wife. I'm thinking about naming this whole video or channel, social media, Officer Therapy. Why I want to use that is I got to get these things out. I got to get them out of my head. I got issues going on with overthinking things. I've had anxiety for my entire life, and I want to share some really crazy stories that I've seen throughout my days in law enforcement, some things that it'll seem like fiction or that I'm exaggerating, but trust me, I won't be. And my wife is a therapist. She has her own private practice. She works with many first responders because she was going to be a first responder herself, was in college, was in the Army. 9/11 happened. She was getting ready to, she got deployed down to Texas, and then was getting ready to be sent to Afghanistan. And then boom, she had ovarian cancer, which caused her, well, how do we have kids? Well, we adopted our 2 children. And that's, again, I'll have her on as a special guest. This is not going to be all polished like many of the videos you're used to, where they're edited heavily and stupid things are taken out and the commentator looks like they're just a phenomenal person. Nah, I'm going to show you the underbelly of just what's going on in this crazy noggin of mine. Because I don't have alternative motives. Many people want to do social media or to be heard, to be famous, to feel some self of worth. Chances are this channel is never going to grow, and my 3 viewers will be my mother watching it 3 times. Hi, Mom. And that's okay with me, because if another person stumbles upon this and can find some insight, some help into whatever they got going on, because I really wanted to appeal to all segments of society, to the world. And when we're in, this is the date of video, it's going to be 2023 or in February. You click on your own social media, news, what have you. It is a toxic, crazy time right now. And it's always been a crazy time. We live in a world of sin, a fallen world, and I want to go into my relationship with Christ. I'm not going to be, hammering over your head with the Bible, but that's a big part of me. And when we're in an age of not knowing the truth, or everyone has their own truths, I feel that the Bible is the universal truth, and that's my foundation. And we can go on that later, another tangent, because I have a lot of ideas floating around this head of mine, some of which are going to be polarizing, and you're going to go, oh, screw him, he said XYZ. Some things maybe dabble around into racism, or the issues that Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all these cultures have, and how they're weaponized to create fear, whether you're from the left or the right. And I've been a person that likes many times to go to, not many times, every day, unfortunately, I suffer from the sickness of following the news, to CNN and Fox News. Why would I go to both of those? Because I want to see what people are being fed, and they are, there will be a segment later on about how narratives, how messages polarize people, and why they're designed to do that. I think people are really hungry for honest, non-biased opinions, which you're not going to get from either of those news organizations. Those people in charge of them are spitting out the news. They have certain motives on why they do what they do. I want to get into conspiracy theories and why that word has been weaponized, and why people are succumbing and falling victim to a lot of these things that seem ludicrous to us. Heck, I don't know where this is going to go. I would love to talk to other officers in the field, retired, current, and get some of their opinions. Me being retired makes it so my mouthpiece cannot feel muzzled anymore. I had a lot of things to say throughout my whole career in law enforcement, but for fear of making the wrong person mad and losing my job, and therefore not being able to put bread on the table, was always a real concern. And these things seem almost like fiction when you read in the news some officer that goes viral on TikTok, because he's not TikTok, whatever social media platform, because he's doing a fun little mocking video calling LeBron James up, going, LeBron, there's a stabbing outside, what should I do? And that's because LeBron was commenting on certain police tactics, police killings, or use of force. Sorry, I'm going to say the wrong things constantly, so that's all right. I make up words too. So to be funny, that officer makes a little video about, asking LeBron for help, and next thing you know, that officer's losing his job. Constantly, these things are happening where people are silenced for making fun of things, for saying the wrong thing. I am a hypocrite. I freaking 100% am a hypocrite. Meaning, again, I love Jesus. I love the Bible, the preachings of the Bible. I'm going to talk about things that I think are right and wrong. But I screw up. I am a sinful person that make mistakes, that maybe my opinions are based on falsehoods, and I will correct myself as much as I can. If I'm shown alternate truth, I'm going to edit this part. No, I'm not going to edit this part out. And I don't have a little scripted little spot. This is just kind of a weird flow of the narrative going on in my mind. I'm trying to figure this out as I go. And if you want to go on this weird journey with me, awesome, buckle up, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that follow on social media, or not, and you want to go, this guy sucks, go ahead. That's fine. That's fine. Because I got problems going on just like all of you. And I do believe there are foundational truths, right versus wrong. And there are things I struggle with daily. And like I mentioned with my alcoholism, that I've been sober now 8 years. There's many topics that I kind of want to dive into. And family drama and COVID and all these stinking things that we're all going through life together. But I'm excited about it because it's going to give me a chance to not just dwell on them and cycle them around in my own head and my other social media that relies heavily on my passion of collecting. I can't really just dump all this kind of stuff on, because those guys that visit that social media, they want, it's an escape from real life. Collecting, watching sports, whatever your off-time hobby is. You don't want that to be flooded with politics and real life situations, with active shooter information, or how narratives are spun, or how police are vilified. And those guys don't want to hear all this. So that's why, again, I'm making a separate social media that I don't care. I'm getting to that point where I don't care what people think anymore, and I want to share some fun things going on. And I'm going to overuse words. I'm going to say stupid things, and that's okay. But tell me down below and it might be my mom only commenting, what topics you would like to hear. I understand there's probably going to be some hate. I got that even with my toy collecting. Justice Curry, toy collector, one of my very first YouTube videos, one guy in particular was saying, take your Jewish nose and go back to Israel. I'm like, what? Or I have people calling my daughter the N-word because she's mixed race. It's crazy. There are very poisonous people out there, and these are things that I want to address. Why are people poisoned like this? What's going on in their brains? How are my perspectives shaped? Because, a lot of times you're not allowed to talk about black culture because I'm not from it. I'm not going to understand all the ins and outs of it. But, I don't see, it's even hard to start that conversation, because then someone will take a little piece out of context, put it on there, and try to destroy you or try to destroy the people around you. But I'm just going to jump in that cold pool and not care what people think. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. But I kind of wanted to do this introductory video because we're all battling something. And I'm battling this new phase in my life where I don't have the 9-to-5 job anymore. I don't have this big important piece of my life that's all I've known since, I was 19, 20 years old. And now I'm a family man at home, trying to regulate my my two kids, which are quite a handful. The nature versus nurture part. Yeah. So buckle up. Let's have some fun.